Okay, so let's have a look at functions and inverses, which is the next section that we're going to be talking about. Now, what I've done is I've pasted this here. I found this from mathsisfun.com, and it gives a good summary. But we know that generally we've got an input, we've got a relationship, and we've got an output, right? And these are basically the variables. Generally, the input corresponds to domain, and then the function actually maps it to the output, and the output is generally the range. You've got domain elements and range elements. The independent variable is generally the input. The dependent variable is the output. This is also known, or the input is also known as the argument, and the output is also known as the value of a function. So we know, let's take an example here, right? So we know that an example of a function is we're used to having something like this, f of x. We could also say, okay, g of x as an example, right? And there's an example, we could say f of x could be, you could say it's x squared, that's a function, or a parabolic function, or you could say minus 3x plus 1, that is a straight line function. But basically you can see how that works. And of course we would have also learned functions which are trig functions. So you could say g as a function of theta is equal to a sine of theta, and so on. Now this gives examples how the input in this case is x, and in that case is x, and in that case is theta. What maps it is this function f, g, and in this case g, and the output I get is the sine of theta, x squared, or 3x minus 3x plus 1. Now, and another way to visualize or actualize this is if I, let's go for another page. Let's say if I wanted to determine whether something is a function or not, right? So let's just take these two examples here, right? So these are two different graphs, okay? Now, what type of graphs are? They're not very important, but we can see that this is a parabola. So let's say that this, for instance, is y is equal to 0.1 x squared. And let's say that this graph is y is equal to the square root of 10x. Right, now how do I determine whether something is a function? I use something known as the vertical line test. Right, now what the vertical line test says is, if I start to draw a vertical line, right, so let's say I took a vertical line anywhere. Ooh, that's very thick. Don't want that, so let's go for a thinner pen. Right, if I drew a vertical line here, right, you can see it's going to cut. Ooh, that's not very vertical. But if I drew a vertical line here as an example, oh, come on, let's do that again. Okay, we'll just assume that it's a vertical line. Actually, no, let's not assume it's a vertical line. But if I drew a vertical line like so, where it cuts the y, it only cuts the y value once, right? Now, if I did a vertical line test anywhere, right, you can see that I only get one y value, right? And if I carried on doing that, it's there, I cut it there. And even on the other side, if I took any x value, any input, gives me only one output, okay? Now, in this example, you agree that if I took minus 20 and 20, right, and if I plugged it in, I would get the same answer, which is 40, right? Now, a function of the vertical line test means that any vertical line I draw will give me only one input. Even if I have a different input, it's still only going to give me one output. Now, if I did the same thing here, right, if I did the functional line test, and let's just use a different color. So let's say I drew a line, a vertical line here. Now you can see that the vertical line cuts that graph here and here, right? So it cuts it twice. And if I did the same thing here, you can see it still cuts it twice here and here. Right? So the vertical line test is the way to determine whether something is a function. And remember, like I said, is if I do the vertical line test and it only cuts the curve once at any given input, then it is a function. But if it cuts it twice, that means it is not a function. Now, another way to maybe visualize this is, let's think about this like so and this like so, right? Here you can see I've got an input going to an output only once. I've got the same a different input which goes to the same output but only once, and I've got this input that goes to that output only once. But now if you look at the way I've drawn this, you can see here's my input 3. 3 is going to 4. 3 is going to 5. Right? So now you can see that this is not a function because I've got one input that gives me many outputs, and this is a function because I've got many inputs that give me one output, right? And so that tells me, or what I know is then I have two types of functions. I have a function known as a one-to-one function, and I have a function known as a many-to-one function. And I will follow up with examples of one-to-one functions and many-to-one functions in the next video.